An incredible survival story how 4 kids, all under age 14, were able to stay alive for 40 days in the jungle after surviving a plane crash. And chocolate changes. What's driving up the cost of the beloved treat and what kinds of chocolate you'll be paying more for. You're watching The Rundown. Hello, everyone. I'm Robin Winston. More on those stories coming up in a moment. But first, Governor Gavin Newsom called California's homeless crisis a disgrace. He addressed the issue during an interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity.
This state has not made progress in the last 2 decades as it relates to homelessness.
Why?
Because housing costs are too high, our regulatory thickets are too problematic, localism has been too impactful, meaning people locally are pushing back against new housing starts and construction.
Newsom and Hannity also discussed a wide range of other issues, including taxes, immigration, and President Biden. Newsom defended the president and said he backs Biden's re-election campaign. All right, chocoholics, beware. The price of chocolate is going up. You're actually going to pay more for your favorite sweet treats like these. Experts say the problem is supply and demand, and there's just not enough supply of a key ingredient, cocoa. Dry weather is making cocoa harder to grow. Other chocolate ingredients like sugar and cocoa butter are seeing price spikes as well. And if you're a dark chocolate lover, look out. That variety will be even more expensive because of its high cocoa content. Governor Newsom had pleaded with Californians to conserve water during the recent drought, but it turns out we came up short. Californians were asked to voluntarily cut water use by 15% between July of 2021 and March of this year. But according to an LA Times analysis, we ended up conserving water by 7% on average. So that's about 9 fewer gallons of water per person per day, but that's only about half of what was requested. As far as regions go, Southern Californians did even worse. The South Coast, which includes LA and Orange counties, reduced water use by just 6%. It's time to check in with meteorologist Belen De Leon to see if we'll get some sunshine or even warmer temperatures anytime soon.
We're getting to the middle of June, so what can you expect? More gloom. Skies will continue to be cloudy to start, but skies gradually clear as we head into the afternoon, leading to more sunshine. That will cause the temperatures to be warmer inland. Highs are going to be in the mid-70s. And over Father's Day weekend, temperatures will be a little warmer, reaching the 80s inland. We still have some strong onshore flow. That's the reason why the June gloom is so persistent, because of this area of low pressure over the west coast. Now, this system will gradually shift away as we head into the weekend and will tap into some warmer air. That's why the temperatures are expected to be warmer as we head into Father's Day weekend. Look at the trend in Santa Clarita, where we're pretty consistent for the next few days, highs in the mid to upper 70s, but for the start of the weekend, 84 with more sunshine.
Actor Treat Williams died in a motorcycle crash. He had a decades-long career starring in movies, on TV, and on stage.
I got my hair, I got my head, I got my brains, I got my ears, I got my eyes, I got my nose, I got my mouth, I got my teeth.
Williams was best known for his leading performance in the 1979 movie Hair. He also starred in the TV series Everwood in the early 2000s. Police say Williams died in Vermont when an SUV turned in front of his motorcycle, throwing him off the bike. Treat Williams was 71 years old. Police are trying to track down this man who they say groped a woman near the UC Irvine campus. The attack happened Saturday at the intersection of Scholarship and Graduate. You could actually see a man in a gray shirt following the woman. Then he comes up from behind, grabs her, and runs off. Irvine police say he drove off in a white Nissan Sentra that was also captured on surveillance video. People who live in the area are concerned about this crime.
They were so freely walking every night, even in the dark night. So now I will be more cautious and while I'm walking.
Everybody should be more careful, more vigilant, just more aware of their surroundings in general.
So here again is a look at the suspect. Anyone with any information is asked to contact Irvine police. People living in a neighborhood in San Bernardino County are furious. That's because over the weekend, someone threw flyers onto their driveways with anti-Semitic messages. So this is what people found on their driveways in Redlands. We blurred the leaflet because of the anti-Semitic message involving abortion and Jewish people, but it appears the person who did it drove by and threw it out the window. Residents we spoke with say this has happened once before.
Was very hateful. I think it's worse than the last time it was. And this one had to do with abortion. The previous did not. I do wonder who they're targeting. I don't know anybody at all that shares that viewpoint.
If you received the leaflet and you believe a crime was committed like trespassing or vandalism, Redlands Police would like you to give them a call. An animal rescue organization in Studio City was able to save dozens of dogs this past weekend, all of which were set to be euthanized. Wagmore Pet Rescue tells us it saved 11 huskies from California shelters and 40 adult dogs from a puppy mill in Missouri. Among that group, Boston Terriers, Poodles, Beagles, Corgis, and many Australian Shepherds. They've all been groomed and are getting medical treatment.
So what's really beautiful about these dogs is even though they've lived this really horrible life, they are all so loving and they want to be part of a family. Once they get this general vetting done and they start gaining weight, they really can go into a home and be amazing pets.
Most of the dogs are now ready to be adopted. This is your chance. If you're interested, just call Wagmore Pets. It's a story captivating the world. 4 children who lived through a small plane crash spent the next 40 days alone in the Amazon jungle. And we're now learning much more about how they managed to survive. NBC's Molly Hunter brings us their remarkable story.
New video shows the moment rescuers found 4 young siblings deep in the Amazon jungle. The eldest 13, the youngest just a year old, the kids looking emaciated but alive. For the last 40 days, rescuers had been scouring the forest, covering more than 1,600 miles. It was called Operation Hope. And finally, over the weekend, Colombian special forces in the middle of the night lifted them to safety, evacuating them to the capital of Bogota. Colombia's president saying, "Our children were taken care of by the jungle." The children, members of an indigenous tribe, had been living off the forest since their Cessna plane went down on May 1st. Along with their mother, they'd been flying from a remote Amazon community to a small city in central Colombia when the pilot reported engine failure at 7:30 a.m. May 1st. But when rescuers arrived at the scene, they found 3 adult bodies, but not the children. And over the weekend, joy, relief from their family. Their grandmother says Leslie, the eldest child, had always taken care of her younger siblings and would have known exactly what was safe to eat. Telemundo reporter Rafael Poveda has been covering the story.
They live in a small community in the middle of the jungle, so they are used to the jungle. They know what they eat. They know what to eat. They know about the worms. They know about the jungle.
There was edible cassava flour found in the wreckage, and photos taken by the search team show fruit half eaten, which, along with footprints, a baby bottle, and tiny shoes left behind, were all clues to the young survivors. Their grateful father telling reporters, "We believe a lot in the jungle," calling their rescue a miracle of God. Now recovering in the hospital, the director says they're weak but speaking. And the 4-year-old and toddler were playing, the director says, adding that when a child plays, they feel good.
History in the Mile High City. The Denver Nuggets won their first ever NBA championship Monday night. Check this out. That's Nuggets and LA Rams owner Stan Kroenke hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy as the team celebrated. Nuggets center Nikola Jokic earned MVP honors, leading Denver to a 4-1 series win over the Miami Heat. Fans packed bars and filled the streets outside the arena and all across the city. And get this, for Kroenke, that's an NBA title, a Stanley Cup championship with the Avalanche, and a Super Bowl title with the Rams, all in the span of just 18 months. Wow, congratulations. Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak is taking one final spin on the wheel. He announced that the show's upcoming 41st season will be his last. The 76-year-old wrote on Twitter, "The time has come," and called it a wonderful ride. Sajak did not say who might replace him. NBC News has reached out to Sony Pictures Television, who owns the show, and they have not responded to a request for comment.
We're going to talk about that. That's waning over the... That's very good, John. Thank you, John. We stand a pretty good chance of getting a little wet this weekend with the wane. In fact, we could be moving into an extended period of unstable weather.
surprise, surprise. How about that for a trip down memory lane? Pat Sajak started as a TV weather anchor and delivered the forecast right here at NBC4 until Merv Griffin saw him on TV and chose him to be the new host of Wheel of Fortune back in 1981. An LA street artist who went from selling tacos with her mom to having galleries around the world is now trying to give back to the community where her career started. So she goes by the name Sand One, and the artist began her successful career by painting murals in East LA. And this summer, she's offering a mural class to kids and teens. Sand One says she just wants to share the power of art and how you can turn it into a business.
I'm taking all these kids out of their tablets and taking their phones away, and they're going to spend 5 days with me painting murals.
Enrollment is now open on Sand One's website. Classes will take place at her studio in Cudahy. The Slurpee at 7-Eleven is getting a brand new look. 7-Eleven introduced these redesigned cups for the Slurpee. They feature what the chain calls eccentric colors and eclectic vibes, along with a new S logo. You can also get matching clothes and merchandise online featuring the new design. But even with the new look, 7-Eleven says the Slurpee, which has been around for nearly 60 years now, will still taste the same. Thank goodness. I prefer the cherry flavor. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4. Weekdays, 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout your morning commute. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.